Hey everybody, this is Vince, Listings to Leads, and this is our Facebook and Google class. Now, I don't know how long you've been with us, but let's just have a little bit of a snapshot of the company, what we do. We've been doing this for 15 years, designed to help realtors advertise, build their networks on social media, auto post to social media, and most importantly, to help them find both buyer leads and seller leads, right? And so we've been able to do that. We have a lot of tools here that will help you achieve that. And so in order to get there, you do have to learn what's going on here. Now, today we're on a live class. If you're watching a recorded webinar, you could come to leadgenwebinars.com and sign up for the classes that we're doing. Scott's doing social media and database and mastering your farm. I do Facebook and Google class. I also do a class for lenders, and I do Get Started, which I'll do on Monday. And I also do Top Tools for More Listings. Okay. So all these classes that we do live, we record, including the one that we're sitting on right now. And we put all those right here. And let's see if I can send anything to you guys. This is our YouTube channel. And there's actually a couple things here that I want to point out. I'll have to send this later. I need a question for me to respond to. So the classes that I do are here, and so are the classes that Scott are doing. So if you want more listings, I highly recommend you watch Top Tools for More Listings. It's over here on the right. I record this class every 2 weeks. It's very useful. If you want more listings, I suggest you watch 2 or 3 of those. Scott's class on geofarming, it's super thorough as well. I just think you need to get more involved and understand all the tools that you can leverage here. This class here, Facebook and Google ads, is actually not that difficult. It's easy to do that. I think what you want to be thinking of is, can you be consistent about it? And we'll talk a little bit about that in a little while. There's also something here that I really recommend everybody gets involved with, and that's this shorts page. So we get a lot of feedback from our clients. We also push a lot of new technology, and so the feedback from our clients, and we have good stories, and I'm going to show you a couple in just a few minutes. We synthesize them into 1-minute videos. And today we're sitting for an hour to talk. And if you're watching this recording, I thank you for sitting for an hour to do. But I know everybody's busy, and sometimes just bite-sized bits of information in 1 minute will get you a good idea that you can go off and the longer ones are on our videos tab. We'll leave this here just in case we need it later. One thing I want to talk about, it's brand new. Actually, I'm going to come back to that. Here's our other resource that you should all be in, and that is our mastermind group. It's a private group on Facebook, and if you're not in it, you can't find it. So go to your support page inside of Listings to Leads and ask them to get you in the group. Now, I want to point out a couple of things. I think Scott's got his shorts going here, the short videos that I just mentioned. But agents ask questions, and they also share what's working with them. And so I want to point out this is interesting. Jared is sharing. He's an agent, and he's using this solar light on his yard signs. And he actually is sharing it here, but he earlier, like I think last week, he shared what he was doing, like what his actual signs look like. And people like this. Literally just a sheet go over. So he's showing everybody inside the mastermind group, like he's using our QR code that we auto generate for the listing. And he says, yeah, I also put this solar light, and the solar light's up there. And so that's what that was, that solar light thing was about, which I think is great. But I want to share something here, which is recent. If you're a new client to us, I highly recommend you look up what Angie Diaz has been saying just recently. And there's a couple posts related to this, but she's saying she got a listing simply by running a just sold ad. Now, she also mailed the nearby homeowner letters and did some other sharing of free tools on her social media accounts. And that's really an important thing to recognize. Like, I know there's a lot in the system. There might have been one tool that you thought is going to help your business, and that's why you signed up. Maybe you got a listing. Oh, I'm going to do this. I hear so many great things about it. But when you're using ads in combination with print, in combination with other free tools, you are building your brand, and it's hard for people to get around it. There's a great story here. She told the lady that this woman who she got the listing from was approached by an investor who offered her $100,000 for her home. And Angie, this agent, said, no, it's actually worth more than 200,000. And so she came with a listing presentation. She tells you everything right here, how she won the listing. And I think that's great that our clients share that kind of information. We're going to leave this open because we're going to need to come back to it. So I did want to mention this. This is very new and new technology that we have released. It's an add-on to the system, but I want everybody to at least know it's here. And this is for agents who are focused on capturing a volume of leads, right? I know some of you have a listing and maybe you just want to market to take care of your homeowner, and that's great. But there are others of our clients who are really focused on getting more business, and they want more buyers, they want more listings, and we have a lot of tools to do that. But really what's important is, how are you following up? And if you don't have a really great way of following up, there's almost no point in you generating any leads. And typical follow-up for most realtors is to call them one time, right? Maybe you've got a drip campaign going. I hope you do, especially if you're working with us. We actually have our own drip campaign. These follow-ups here are really powerful. But what's new is we have AI text follow-ups. It's basically $50 a month, and we'll manage up to 50 leads. And it's AI, it's smart software technology that's taking the lead and going back and forth and asking questions until they're ready for the phone call. And I think that's really going to be valuable. Now, we're going to talk about how to capture leads here in just a second. But if you don't have a great way of converting leads, this can definitely help you out. We don't really recommend this if you're generating 10 leads or 5 leads or whatever. And maybe that's fine for you, right? But if you're somebody focused on generating dozens or hundreds of leads, you might want to look at this. It's called AI text follow-up. It's on the leads page. Okay. Keep an eye on this section. We're improving this lead section we're going to be adding something called power calling. And this is going to help you convert leads. I mentioned we've been doing this for 15 years. I don't think there's another company that's even close to us for capturing the volume of leads at the cost. There's just no company. Frankly, they're not even designed to do that. Most of the great companies that are out there that by name, whether they're CRMs or whether they're marketing platforms for realtors, they're designed for automation. And automation is great, right? Agents like to throw in their credit card and just walk away and not do anything. That's awesome. We'll take your money. But to capture leads, there's more involved in it. And we know the stories of like Realtor.com and Zillow, and I can tell you how many times I get calls of people telling me the ROI is not there for me, right? And then they find us. And that's where we are doing everything we can to make sure you have an ROI. And that's why our follow-ups, our drip campaigns, Lynn, the power calling is not here yet. It's actually not an auto phone caller. It's going to take your leads tab over here. So everybody, when you capture leads, your leads are here. You should follow up with them. And so you can connect your CRM and have your leads drop automatically in. But if you click here on view details, you will see the lead detail. You'll see where it came from. You'll see what they're responding to. And we're just going to filter in these leads. We're going to filter the leads to show you what are your highest quality leads. Okay. And so you'll have your top 10 buyer leads, your top 10 seller leads. You'll also have just the old leads that you need to call. So it's just going to make it easier, more of a streamlined process for you to work through your leads. Okay. So that will be coming soon. But I want to go to the dashboard. This is also a new part of the platform that we're putting a lot of energy on this page. When you come here, it says generate all leads. But I usually think agents are thinking about buyer leads or seller lead. Let me ask, is anybody here thinking about getting that you need more buyer leads? Just put yes, and I'll see those answers come in and we'll go through that. And while we're saying that, okay, so Lynn, yeah, you need that, right? Here is the simplest way to get buyer leads. And April is saying, yes, let me ask this question. Do you have listings? If you have buyer leads, I'm going to assume you have listings that you need to sell. Does that make sense? So answer that question for me. I'm going to click right here. I'm going to click on buyer leads. Yes. And April saying, yes, she has the listing. So April, where is your listing? What city, what state? I'm on buyer leads here. And so you can see our class is called Facebook and Google, right? We can create an ad right here. Cape Coral. Great. Okay. Create listing ad. Now, I don't think I have a property in Florida, but we can still walk through this. It's the exact same way. You choose your property that's for sale. You leave it on lead ads. Lead ads is really powerful. It's one of the most powerful things of our platform. It's a form designed by Facebook. So we're creating this ad for Facebook, and the lead is pre-populated from the profile. So nobody's typing in a name, phone number, and email. Okay, so April, here's probably something now. If yours is in Cape Coral, it's going to say for sale in Cape Coral, and it's going to see that city from the MLS, and it's going to auto pull the location so that Facebook knows I got a market here. Now, I think in Cape Coral, you probably want a wider radius than 15 miles. You might want 40 miles. Maybe people are willing to move from one city to another. Another big thing in Florida, I'm sure you know this, and I'm sure many of us on the call know this, but a lot of people like to move out of those cold, wintry states, right? So you could target people in Chicago. You could target people in New York City. And so a lot of you, I'm setting up an office, I can't remember where, but they have homes in a second home area. So they're like, yeah, we like to market to the big city. I think it was Atlanta. And they have homes that people like to buy in Atlanta, but are not in Atlanta. So they market in different areas. That's key to doing that. Now, let's say there was something special about this home, right? And it would say for sale in Cape Coral. You might say, hey, you know what? It's waterfront or whatever, right? Whatever you think. Maybe it's got great schools. Maybe you have a wine cellar, or you have what do you call this? Horse barn. Whatever you think is like compelling. What we're looking at here, that's the text that's going to be visible. And I was on a call this morning with an agent, and we got to this point. She's like, the static letter, the basic message is this. And she's like, that doesn't look, I think it needs to say something different. And I was like, okay, what? And it had some language here. And the things that she was telling me was literally repeating what's already here. And I had to tell her what I want to tell you. This ad in the default setting that you're looking at right here is generating thousands of leads every week for our clients. You don't have to overthink it, is really the message I've tried to put here. What you do have to do is run the ad. And most agents get so busy and distracted that they don't do that, and they don't do it very consistently. Here, when you run an ad, it's 7 days, $35 if you're running ads that are going to attract buyers. And April, I don't know if you've had that listing for a while, or if you just got the listing, you can run out with $50. But I will tell you, there are a lot of people who want more leads. So they change it to you can leave it at 35. They might change it to 50. And some agents will change it to $100. And here's the thing, when you run an ad on Facebook, on average, the cost is, and if you run a buyer ad, if you run an ad on a listing, like right now, trying to get buyers, these leads cost around $3 each, $3 to $4. Okay. You can expect that in your price per lead, right? So if it's $3, and I'll show you where you see that, you divide 3 into 100 and you can expect 33 leads. If you use our default setting, you would expect 11 leads, maybe 10 or 11 leads. Okay. So if you get 10 leads and you convert one, you are converting at a 10% conversion rate. And I don't know if you know anything about lead conversion in any industry, including real estate, it's 1%. So if you were able to convert 1 out of 10, you're way ahead of the curve. Now I want to bring you back to our YouTube channel. And this lady right here, let's see if you can hear
Here
me.
in Northern Virginia. And I ran a listing to leads ad a few weeks ago for an open house that I had coming up. And from that $30 ad campaign, I got 3 active buyers in my immediate neighborhood from it, and 1 seller lead, which I just had a successful listing appointment with, and we will be listing their whole.
That is awesome. I hope you could hear that. She ran a $35 open house ad, gets 3 buyer leads, active buyer leads, and 1 listing. Okay. That does not happen every day. What happens every day is you're converting 1 to 5%. Our best clients are typically converting at 5%. Okay. Now, and that's the best. That's not our average client. Okay. So you got to ask yourself, what's my conversion strategy? I would tell you, as you're getting leads, please text them. Don't call them. I know you want to call them because you've heard speed the lead. Speed the lead was invented before cell phones. I can tell who's calling me. Nobody wants to talk to people who they don't know. And so that's why when you call them, they're like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Or I clicked that by mistake. I was just looking. Text them with those simple, short questions. Hey, this is in that town. Are you looking in this in Cape Coral? It's worth 500. Is that your price range? What kind of bedrooms? Back and forth to get them comfortable going back and forth in text until they're like, hey, can we set up a call? And then when you get the call, you close the appointment. And that's how you convert leads. Now, there are software companies that can help you do that. We're going to be helping you do that. But please, that's a good way of converting. I'm going to show you other things. But the point, what I'm saying is, you're going to get 10 to 11 leads here. That lady had an awesome result. And I definitely can keep showing you stories of agents having awesome results. But not everybody is converting at that rate, right? But that's why I say, maybe you want to increase it. Maybe you want more leads. Maybe you put in $50. I will also tell you, like, I've had clients call me and say, oh, I got like this multi-million-dollar awesome listing. Normally I don't get that. And I said, you definitely want to put more money into it, like this, like $100. And this, I remember I had this conversation with a lady in DC, in Washington, and in North DC. She had this like $2 million listing. She says, I never get these, but I'm excited and I want to sell it. And I said, then you need to tell more people. And so when you increase your budget, many more thousands of people see the ad. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. Okay. But just remember that you get more leads per dollar and you get more reach, more eyeballs per dollar. There's another thing that you can do here. If you've invested in video on your property, maybe you paid a professional videographer, right? And they have a cool video, get it on your computer and click this button and upload the video right here. Your cost per lead will drop because Facebook wants you to use video, because they like it when you use video, because they want more people to watch their platform. And people love watching videos much more than they like looking at static images. So they actually give you an incentive of using video. So if you're using video, use that green button and upload the video, and it will swap out the photo for the video. It'll still capture leads same way. Now, I'm going to click a couple photos here because I don't have a video, and I'm going to click insert. This is something else you can do, and I highly recommend it. This is called a carousel ad, okay? And I probably used the wrong picture in the front because I use that default one first. But you can see here's the kitchen, here's the swimming pool out back, here's the master bedroom, bathroom. Looks cool, right? Maybe you don't like that the pool is right up front. Maybe you want that in the back. You can just click it over here and drag it down and it'll resort that, okay? Carousel ads perform better than a single image photo, okay? Video ads performed better than all three. But this is how you run an ad to get buyers. Now there's a question here. Can we advertise construction properties? You mean new construction properties? And the answer there is yes, you obviously can. Now, when we haven't really gotten to it yet, we talked about just how do you simply get buyer leads. We're going to talk about how to get listing leads. But I want to point out that when you sign up, if you go to your landing page section, yeah, okay, Shamara, you're talking about new construction. You actually have a new construction page. It's sitting in your account waiting for you. If you click on marketing tools here, there's multiple ways to market, right? And since this call is about Facebook and Google, you can see we're teeing up a Facebook ad right here, right? Boom, it's that easy. Now, I might actually want to customize this. So this is really saying, hey, would you like a free report? Would you like a report like, and you could say, hey, there are, and I don't know, but you could say there are 10 developments in our area, right? And this is good. This is good. You can do this. Our clients do this. But you're basically saying, hey, would you like to sign up for a list of homes? That's what it is, a report or something like that. Boom. You just click create, $35 and increase it if you want. So you can do that, right? You could also, before you do that, you could say, you know what? I'm not worried about 10 different deals. I just went down the road to this development that's got 500 units coming online. And I spoke to the builder and their sales team, and they gave me a photo and said, I can market their homes and get paid if I bring them buyers. So I'm going to go over here to the construction page that was built, buy listings to leads by default. And I'm going to just put in the name of that place, right? The development. What, Del Boca Vista? Is that the one from Seinfeld? You just change whatever you want, and it's going to reflect in this landing page. You can save it, obviously. And then when you market it, you can really do that. So you can actually customize these things to fit your needs. You could put a video in the background. You could obviously change. I look at a lot of people on YouTube and realtors talking, and I often see realtors walking through these streets of cities or neighborhoods where they're building. You could take a shot like that and put that in the background. You can customize things to meet your needs. But let me tell you one more thing about that, because I was talking to a realtor last week, and she's like, yeah, I want to do something. It was just like what you were saying. I'll show you the countdown timer in just a second. She was building it was like a new construction. And she said, yeah, I'm talking to the builder, and they said, I can do this. It's like, hey, and I'm telling you this, if you think building a landing page and asking people to sign up is going to be great, cool. You now know how to do it, right? But let me tell you what works a lot better than that is you go in them. If they have their listing on the MLS, you could grab it, or you could just go take a couple pictures, or maybe they gave you some and you create a listing, because people will respond to the listing a lot faster than, hey, sign up for a free list of whatever, right? I hope you understand that, because once you've created a listing, that's where we started. We created an ad for a listing, and you could say, hey, this is new construction. Like you can say just listed, or you could say coming soon if you want, but you can say new construction as a custom banner. And I can just tell you, if you're looking for buyer leads, buyers look at listing, because finding a home is not easy, right? I know inventory is increasing in certain areas, but finding the right home is not easy. So they do respond to this. This is all we're asking for, and then drop in a couple of pictures. So Lynn had a question. Let's go answer that. We talked about this new construction, and here's the timer. So if I go to here, page 1, it says custom page content. There's different kinds of content. You could put bullet points. So you see where this is, there's a timer. That's the countdown timer. You can embed HTML. Maybe you've got some weird thing that some company is selling you and you want to put in front of there. It would pop it in that spot. If you say bullet points, it would put bullet points in a blue box right here. And you could even put a video. And I think a lot of agents like to do video. Because maybe yeah, just like these YouTube guys, they're walking around with a phone in front of them and they're talking and they're saying, hey, you know what? This is what's going on here and this prices. And you can snap that video right here. You just paste in the YouTube video right here. But the question was, how do we get the counter? You can see it says closing costs, rebates, and soon. The expiration date here, I better expand that because that date is beyond. So if I save this, you're going to see that countdown clock start being active. By the way, this kind of countdown clock shows up on our open house marketing too. When you save an open house, those are always time sensitive. They're happening on a particular day. So that countdown counter is on our advertising there as well. But here, there's a lot of great incentives in new construction. Sometimes they're buying down the loan. Sometimes you get a super awesome kitchen or whatever. You could put that right there, right? And once you've done that, now you can say, hey, I want to go over to the ad section and I want to run an ad on that new construction. Now there's a few different ways to get there, but we were talking about a landing page. We customized it and we're going to do the new construction lead ads. This is how you do it. Very similar. And the thing is, we make it really easy. That's the thing about our platform is, hey, if it's super complicated, people can't do it. So I get it. And we get it. We've been doing this for a long time. And that's why Scott and I are constantly working on how do we make this intuitive and easy. So you create your landing page. If you would change the photo, the new photo would be here. You could put in a video if you want here. If you created that video of you talking, you could put that right there. But you just click create ad and that's how you would do it. Okay. Now let's go back. I'm going to just point out a couple of things here that you'll see, and I don't want you to be confused. But when you want to run ads, there are a few ways to do it. And what you have to think of is you have listings, you have PDF guides, and you have landing pages. We've been talking about landing pages here. Listings we talked. Let's go over to PDF guides. Okay. And you have 80 of these in your account. 40 are for buyers. 40 are for sellers. And let me ask, I'm going to kind of transition over to sellers. Are there any more questions from anybody about how to attract buyers? And while I wait for those answers, let me just tell you, there are 40 PDF guides here for buyers. Okay. And here's first-time home buyer. Okay. If I click on marketing tools here, it's going to tell you, you can run ads on Facebook. You can run ads on Google, right? And you could even share it for free to your social media. Now there's more to the platform than Facebook and Google. We actually auto post these PDF guides to your social media accounts for free with a landing page behind it so you can get free leads on your socials, right? We give you eFlyer for your database. You can copy and blast it out on your old leads. They can download it as long as they give you the contact info, right? There are print flyers. There are QR codes for practically everything that we do. It's a marketing powerhouse that you've got access to, okay? But the reason why I wanted to show you this is that you can run ads from the PDF guide section. You can run ads from the landing page section. You could, of course, go to the ads page. And can you walk through an ad using a PDF guide? Sure. Let's do that right now. So here I am on the ads page and I'm going to click create ad. And here are my PDF guides. Tamara, do you want for buyers or sellers? So you got buyers or sellers. That's the first thing. Let's do sellers. I'm going to just do divorce and real estate, right? I'm going to leave it on lead ads. So my leads are pre-populated with name, email, and phone number. Now, I don't know where you live. Maybe nobody's getting divorced, but do you know the average length of a home ownership is in the United States right now? It's like 7 to 8 years, 7 to 8 years. The average length of a marriage in the United States is right now, I think it's 7 years. So if you want to focus, you don't have to, there's 40 different PDF guides. We're just talking about divorce. That's correct. So I'm going to do Orinda. This is a town right by me. And I'm going to expand because there's a lot of neighboring towns. Now, I live in the Bay Area and I don't want to drive 50 minutes in the afternoon So I'm not going to change that. But if you live in a place where you don't mind driving 50 miles, then expand that. I'm going to say 30. I can do that. It won't make me crazy. Create ad. That's all you have to do. This ad, as you see it, works just like this. Now, here's the thing. You remember when I said buyer leads cost $3 to $4 each? Seller leads, the price per lead is not set by us. It's set by Facebook in this case, because we're running a Facebook ad. And they know that agents like listings more than they like buyer leads. They know they're more important. So these leads cost on average $10 each. When you're running a PDF guide ad for homeowners to sell their home, these leads often cost 10, even more, right? So if I got a $50 ad, I'm going to get 5 leads. If you convert one out of that, you're converting at 20%. That is fantastic. Nobody I know converting at 20% except for this beautiful lady over here who's just crushing it. But that doesn't happen all the time, right? But I just want you, I hope you understand what I'm saying. There is a cost per lead. It's higher for sellers than it is for buyers, right? Now, I'm going to go back here and create a different kind of ad. I'm going to create an ad on a listing that's sold. Why would I do that? Anything that is pending, under contract, or sold, lead ads, name, email, and phone number, is going to get me listing leads. Anything that is a later stage is going to have this kind of language. It's going to say, hey, this home is pending, going to close soon. That's going to affect your home value. That is the key. Click here to get your home. I highly recommend this to anybody that wants a listing. Okay. And I actually was talking to an agent this morning who is new to us, and she had one active listing, and we ran an ad together. And I said, have you sold anything in the past couple months? And the answer was yes. And I said, you got to get this in here and run an ad on it, because you will get seller leads for $7 each, right? On average, $7 each. Name, email, and phone number. Now, Tamara's asking a question. Is anybody having success on running home value leads? Every week they're having success running home value leads. So we haven't done that one. So let's go talk about it. But let's remember what I just said. These leads cost $7 each. And you remember how I said about 2 minutes ago, running a PDF guide for homeowners will get you leads for $10 each, right? So there's a different cost. You're still getting seller leads, but because of the kind of ad you're running, Facebook is charging you a different price per lead. Does everybody understand the price per lead concept? Right? It's driven, it's auction based. Do you have a lot of competition? Your leads are going to cost more. Do you live in Manhattan? Your leads are going to cost more, right? I don't know how Facebook puts the price per lead together, but that is a couple of the factors. I'm going to run one more ad on the landing page, and that's what Tamara's at. Are people finding success in general home value landing pages? And so you can create landing pages. Remember how we created a landing page for new construction? You should have a landing page for every farm market you're in. Okay. And you do it just the same way. So I'm going to explain this, and you got to follow this one. There's a lot to unpack when you run this kind of ad. So I created a landing page, and there's like a downtown Memphis, and this is a Memphis one, right? And Memphis, Tennessee, boom, you would run that. Now, a lot of people have success just like doing that, okay? And there are some pluses and minuses, and there are a lot of people who waste their money running this ad. So here's the thing. It's a $50 ad. This kind of ad, there have been a lot of companies with landing pages like this, and these kinds of ads have been run on Facebook for at least 10 years. Bold Leads has these. An old company called Prime Seller Leads used to sell these. Home Values used to sell these. And even Boomtown would sell you this page for $250 a month for one single page, right? And then you go run ads on it. You get unlimited landing pages here. You should have a landing page for every one of your farm markets, not county-wide, but city, even neighborhood specific. You create all those on the landing page section. Okay. Then you run an ad and you boom, the easy way, just like this. I get a report every Monday of the people who are generating leads from these kinds of ads. And I should have pulled it up. I forgot to pull it up today, but I guarantee you every week people are generating leads from these landing pages. But there's a couple things to think of, and that is the price per lead. Okay. And this, like I said, this has been a very popular type of ad. So Facebook knows they can charge a lot. They charge on average $15 per lead. So if you got a $50 ad budget for 7 days, you're only going to get 3 leads. The same $50 would get you 7 leads if you ran a just sold property. And the same $50 would get you 5 leads if you ran a PDF guide. These are average number. Okay. I hope everybody understands that. So let's go over to the landing page thing and just show you where you can create that, right? Whenever I talk to anybody, any client, including you, I recommend that you come to this landing page section, and this page here, Scott's always fooling around with this. It does not look like this when you get it. It looks like this. It doesn't even look like this. Did you see that static picture of like that? That's that like suburban thing. I don't know where you guys live, but if that picture that's a blink of an eye does not look like your neighborhood, click the edit button and change that background picture. Okay. And because that page is embedded in all kinds of your tools. Yeah. Clean up your landing page. Here's the other thing you should do. Click on create landing page. And this is what I'm saying. Whenever I talk to any new agent, new client, I say, go to Property Valuation Plus, that's our instant home value page, and type in the name of your favorite farm market, your number one farm market, city, and click create landing page. It's going to create a generic landing page that's going to look like this. And you got to think of what you're going to do with this. You're going to get this in front of people who don't know you, and you're going to ask their address and their contact information and I'm pretty sure you guys have been around the internet. You're not really too interested in giving your contact information to anybody on the web, especially your phone number. So use this button that says upload image and get a photograph of something that looks like their area so that they feel a little more comfortable, a little more trust in giving you that information. Like, do you know their area, or are you just throwing some generic website in front of me that I don't even have any idea who you are? You need to change that. You need to change that photograph. That's why when I created this Memphis one, this is touristy, right? If I lived in Memphis, I probably know something that the locals know. You want to use that, right? I have a page here for Orinda, and I'm going to talk about Orinda because I want to talk about one of the ways that people lose money running that generic home value ad, that general ad. This is my landing page for Orinda. Okay. You see that movie theater in the background? That's almost 100 years old now. And this town has like 22,000 people. It's very close to where I live. And I would love to have listings there, right? So why wouldn't I run an ad on Facebook? And let's do that because you definitely want to know this. Now, from this place, it's going to run traffic ads. And it's great that we're doing it because I want to point this out to you. When you run an ad and you say traffic, that means when the person sees the ad, they click on it and they land on the page. Okay. And I land here. What does this page do? If you type in an address and you click get value, I'm going to get their address. And at this point, we drop them on a page and we say, okay, we're ready. We got your information. What's your contact info? And I click why I'm thinking about it, or I need to sell and buy, right? Whatever. You got to give an answer. Then you click view report. Okay. This is how this page works. And then you get some value, right? And I don't know why it's not showing you value there. Maybe it's not a real home. But the point is, even before that, give me a second. I'm going backwards, so it's giving me some grief. People are very happy to give you their address, but just asking them for their email address, people will leave. So when you get the address, we call it a partial lead. partial, right? You don't even have their contact information. They leave the page. So when you come via this way and we're saying, hey, your objective is drive traffic to that, that's what's going to happen. You can test it out that way. I prefer lead ads because it's going to look exactly the same. But when they click on it, their name, phone number, and email is going to pop up. And you won't have their address. It will be pre-populated from their profile. So when you get that, you could text them, hey, I see you wanted your home value in Orinda. Can I get your address? I'll get that for you right away. Now you have their name, phone number, email, and address, and you can drop it in the landing page yourself. You'll see their value and we will email it to them directly. I prefer that. Our design, our default is sending it to traffic. I think, me personally, I can convert a lead a lot faster if I have a name, phone number, and email, as opposed to just a single address. Even an address and an email address might not get me very far. So you have that choice. You can drive traffic or you can use Facebook and get pre-populated stuff. Here's the other big problem with this section, with this kind of ad. If I type in Orinda and click create ad, you would think, okay, that's it. I'm good to go. For a lot of clients, this works. For a lot of clients, it does not work. And let me show you why it doesn't work in my area. You probably don't know Orinda. This is the San Francisco Bay Area, but I'm outside of San Francisco, like in the East Bay, across the San Francisco Bay. And this little town is cool. 22,000 people live here, right? Really beautiful homes, great schools. And it's a suburb. You can actually take a subway from San Francisco here. It's a great place to buy, great place to live. Quiet, no traffic, none of that. Green, it's awesome, right? So you see this map here that we're looking at? That's a 15-mile radius. And when you run an ad like this, you can't get any tighter than 15 miles. So what does that mean if I run this ad? That means that between everybody in this 15-mile radius, over 1 million people are going to see this ad that don't live in Orinda. Okay, your luck of hitting these people in Orinda is going to be low because there's only 22,000 people who live there, right? And some of those are kids, so they're not even buying homes, right? I don't really recommend doing that at all. Really, it's a question for you of what's your density? Like if you lived in Queens, New York, right? There's the 5 boroughs. Like you're just packed in. There's no space between towns. You run 15 miles. You got 2 or 3 million people seeing this ad that don't live in Queens. And there are other examples of high dense areas where a 15-mile radius is not going to help you out. Okay. I hope you understand that. There is a workaround. You could have a list. You see this button here, it says retarget current leads or custom audiences. You could create a custom audience. And I actually recommend this to everybody, every one of our clients. If you intend to stay in real estate, this part I highly recommend. And when I said create a landing page for your core farm market, right? Like just give me, who are we talking? Cape Coral, right? Cape Coral. And Cape Coral is tricky because Florida has a lot of second homeowners, but it's still doable. Let's just go for Cape Coral. We were going to create a landing page for Cape Coral. And I would tell you to go find a company like archagent.com or listsource.com or redx.com or remind.com or even Coal Resource. This is what you want. You want a list of homeowners with more than 5 years equity in that town. You want their name, email, phone number, and address. Start with one city and start working. So when I told you the story here, this lady say, hey, this is how I got the listing. I ran an ad and then I mailed 1,000 people nearby, right? You're hitting the market with print because you have their address. You can even upload that list to your CRM and blast out e-flyers. Those PDF guys I show you, they all have e-flyers for every one of those. And then you go to our Facebook ad, you go to our ad area and you create a custom audience and you call it Right here, there's a blue button that says create audience. This is really awesome, right? You could call it Orinda homeowners or Cape Coral homeowners or Memphis homeowners, right? It's got to be minimum 1,000 leads deep. Okay. So if you're in a small development, 500 homes, add some home. Cannot be less than 1,000. Then when you upload it and import it, it lives inside your Facebook account. Even if you get tired of listening to Scott and I, and you want to go it alone, you will still have this custom audience that you can target in your ads on Facebook. If you have a core area that you know is going to be part of your business for the next 2 years, you should get that list. Now, if you have that list, any seller ad you want to do, it needs to be minimum 1,000 leads. That is correct. If you want to do a sold ads, you don't need it, but definitely even the PDF guide, you don't need this custom audience. But if you're doing an ad like Folsom, you click create ad, and I'll show you. We just got to go back to reality. Folsom, California, up in the mountains, or where the flatlands become mountains. Folsom is geographically very small, right? Let's go look at it here. You can create a landing page. It looks super cool. That's Folsom. There's literally a 15-mile radius. You got 750,000 people who don't live in Folsom that are going to see your ad, right? But here, what have I got? I got one for Folsom. So it's not customized, and that's what it would look like, right? But you would think, oh yeah, I'm going to just type in Folsom and just go for it, right? Yeah, you might not have any success there. I'm sorry to tell you. I would tell you, get rid of this and get a custom audience, upload it the way I just showed you. And don't just use the custom audience on Facebook. Use it in print, upload it to your CRM and email blast them. This is really true marketing and advertising. Is it work? Sure. Is it going to increase your business? You bet. You bet. And that's really when you're running home valuation general ads, and Tamara, you asked about this. That is the pitfall. Like, where are you? What's your major farm market? What city, state? And I'll tell you what, we'll just do a quick search and I'll know. So we've talked a lot about Facebook, Alexandria. Oh yeah. Isn't that right is that just south of DC? And by the way, that lady that we saw that generated 4 leads out of $135 open house ad, she's in Maryland, right? She's not far from you. So we got to talk about Google. And I definitely want you to think about Google if you want listings. So you know that you can create landing pages for all your farm markets. You can create one for Alexandria. You got 40 PDF guides. Let's do a PDF guide, right? And let's focus on sellers. I don't recommend using Google for buyer leads because Facebook buyer leads are cheap and easy. And if you work them right, they convert. We actually have a client in the mastermind group who said, hey, I just ran an ad on Google for this, which is 12 mistakes to avoid when selling a home. And he ran it in Google, just like we're doing right here. Okay. Didn't change anything. Just created and got some leads, and one of them turned into a listing. The PDF guide is about 5 to 6 pages long. You are on every page of those. But when they click on the ad, they land here. And it says, hey, download it, give us your information and download it, right? It's that easy. I don't know. Let me ask, has anybody here run an ad on Google before? Yes or no on this one? If you go try to run an ad, it is so hideous. Yeah. You want to be there. It's the #1 website in the country. It's just brutal to do. You need to know so much. And we know that our clients don't want that. They're not even going to waste time learning that. Why would they? Here's the reason why. When I tell you all these cool things about Facebook, here's the reason why Facebook is so awesome. It's the #3 website in the country. Okay. And we watch our friends, we see ads. Here's Grubhub, right? We see our relatives, we see what they're eating because they take pictures of everything they eat, right? Like there's a kind of a silly side of social media, but there's a very real side of Facebook. And that is that American adults, not teenagers, spend 40 minutes every day scrolling through this news feed. And right where this Grubhub thing is, your open house could be right here. Or what is your homework in Alexandria could be right here. And if it's interesting to me, oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to click on that and boom, I'm going to get some information. That's why Facebook is awesome. Number 3 website in the country. What's the number 1 website in the country? Google. 86% of any question asked on the internet is asked on this page. And people type in questions, right? How do I sell my home? That's a typical question. And who's here? These guys, I don't even know who My Home Sold is. I know who Realtor.com is and Upnest, but people are paying for that spot. How do you get on page 1 of Google like that? Our software makes it incredibly easy. Now, you know how I typed in words there? These things are related to the keywords that people are searching. We automatically put in keywords that are relevant to the PDF guide or to the landing page that you created. You see these blue things over here. These are called headlines. If you go do this by yourself in Google, you have to write all your own headlines. This here that I'm highlighting is called the description. You have to also write 3 descriptions. Do you know what needs to be there? Do you know what those headlines, and do you know what those keywords need to be? My guess is you don't. I'd say for 90%, you do not know what those are. That's why you use our software. Now, right now, it's an add-on. It's like $30 a month just to make it easy, right? You don't have to pay us $30. You still have all these landing pages. You still have all the landing pages you created. You could go do it yourself. It's just not going to be a pleasant experience. Now, so when you run, so our cost, if you go to our ad section and you say, oh, I want to run a Google ad. And remember, you want to do this if you want listings. When you click here, it's going to say subscribe for $30 a month. It's also going to say you get a 30-day free trial. I would do that. I would choose that 30-day free trial. Now, that's just the cost of the software. You're going to need a budget. And so let's talk about that because that's really the killer. Because Google is the number 1 website in the country, they charge the most. Okay. It's really pretty simple. I've got a page here for Miami. Let's create an ad. And let's remember when I said that leads cost more in Manhattan than they do in Arizona, right? There's a lot less competition. Things cost more. Facebook does it. They just charge you, right? So my page says, Tamara, this is going to be on our YouTube channel. Let me send this to everybody right now. If you go to our videos tab, before you go, let me send this to you. This call will be here tomorrow, but check out our top tools for more listings. Check out as much as you can here. Check out our shorts. Okay. So when I click Miami, there's a cost per lead, and you definitely want to understand this. So I don't know actually the cost for this kind of lead. You would type in Miami and we do the rest, right? You choose to type in Miami and you click create ad. It's a $50 a day budget. That's a lot more because on Facebook, it's $50 a week and you got a 7-day ad. So you have exposure of $35. Why is that? That is because seller leads on Google in Dallas, Texas, from this kind of ad costs $30 each. So if you got a $50 a day budget, you can expect 1 lead a day. If you want 2 leads, you could change out to 60. In Pennsylvania, these leads cost $22 each. In Utah, Salt Lake City, they cost about $17. And even somebody told me $10. I don't remember where it was, but it's not the same. Okay. And that's why you want to use a 30-day free trial and figure it out. And this gentleman ran an ad. I think he got a handful of leads, but he converted 1 because the lead quality there is higher. You will convert more leads as a percentage on Google than Facebook, but the Facebook leads are so cheap. We're at the top of the hour. I'm going to show you one more thing. And if you have questions, Indianapolis, I don't know. My guess would be between $15 and $20. I'm going to log into a live clients ad thing for Facebook. And if you have questions, please let me know. And I'll tell you this, we have a lot of clients in Canada and over in Vancouver on the West Coast. Those leads cost $200 to $300 each. So if you have a $50 a day budget, you're not going to get anything. You have to increase that lead volume that cost $300. I hope you're understanding what's happening. This is a team account that I set up. And I want to show you something to help you understand a little bit more about pricing and cost per lead and what you should be looking for. These guys have a team in North and South Carolina, and all they do is use our system to run ads for their agents. They just get their listings and they run ads, right? Now, this is an unusual team. They spend about $80 a lead, $90 a lead. Yeah, no worries. Bye, Cynthia. Get back on our YouTube. Thanks for being here. They've run 770 ads since they've been with us. They have 19,000 leads in North and South Carolina with name, email, and phone number. Here's another big thing. Their business pages in the Carolinas have been seen almost 4.5 million times in about 18 months. Where do you think your branding, even your office branding, is being seen that many times? My answer is nowhere. If you are an agent, a real estate agent, I honestly don't know of a better place for branding in cost per impressions. When you run notice here, they spent $70 on this ad. 3,000 people saw that. They spent $60 on this ad. 3,200 people saw that. They spent $85. Almost 5,000 people saw this ad. This is awesome for your branding. And we've had clients say, hey, I run 2 or 3 ads every week because I have multiple listings. I now have people just calling me because they know I'm the realtor. I wanted to also point this out. You see this home, it's in Greensboro, North Carolina, $5.38 CPL is cost per lead. $202.80 cost per lead. It's a lot, so maybe that's $369, $7 a lead, $662, $720, $444. It's never the same. When I give you an average, it is just that. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the time of day or the day of the week, or I know it's the competition that you have around you, but that is the nature of lead price per lead. So I hope this helps you. This class has been recorded. If you have questions, please let me know. I'm happy to stay and answer more questions. Our YouTube channel is awesome. Start following the shorts, get in the mastermind group. You're welcome, Lynn, and get on this videos page. And if you want more listings, please watch at least 1 or 2 or even 3 versions of Top Tools for More Listings, because I don't say the same thing every day. Check out Scott's classes. They're super, super valuable, super important. Just take some free time to understand what you can unlock here, because your business, we've got clients doubling and tripling, going from single agents to starting new offices because they're just leaning on our tools. I hope you do the same. I hope we can help you. Lean on our support team, get on our live classes. We'll do everything we can. Thanks, everybody.